video. We're getting ready to show the film video Instrument, which is the Fugazzi documentary, and we've actually been working on it off and on for 10 years. Since those guys were friends of mine, I started to shoot them not with any specific project in mind, but just because I was shooting everything that I cared about, mostly in silent Super 8. The beginning of the group, and probably about in 1992 or 93, we realized that we were gathering a lot of material and decided to make an official collaboration out of it. So we've been working on it more seriously and steadily for the last about 5 years. Is perhaps most known for their political stance and for their very unusual independence, and all of that is in the piece. But we didn't want to kind of make a big deal out of it, because in a way, that's the way that they operate. But it's not something that they feel that they always need to talk about. I mean, the point for them is making music and having complete control over it. And in order to maintain that control, there are a lot of interesting political steps that they take. The project is a mix of it's really kind of a collage. It's not a traditional documentary at all, but it includes tours, recording in the studio, landscapes, places where I was traveling with the band, and interviews, and also portraits of people who came to see the band over the years. Politically, there's also an issue that the making of the film and my own work as a filmmaker is very much in parallel with their work as a band, because when I got out of school and decided I wanted to make movies and found that it was incredibly frustrating and difficult to get involved with the existing traditional film industry, I was at first kind of freaked out, and then I realized that the model of punk rock in Washington, D.C. was something that I could also apply to filmmaking. So I started working with Super 8 and doing things on a kind of completely primitive, down-to-earth level, and that allowed me to function and to really be a filmmaker rather than kind of have to think about film school and think about how to get involved with an industry that didn't really want anything to do with people like me. So there's a parallel between my work and Fugazzi's work, and that's one of the reasons why the project was important to me. Cold in Italy, it's cold! Other video directors who work with bigger budgets and are really immersed in that industry, they tend to kind of have to constantly be looking for new, interesting styles and ideas that have never been thought of before. And I don't really concern myself a whole lot with like trying to find something different. or trying to find a way to make things look in a way that they haven't looked before. I mean, I'm more concerned with just trying to be kind of straight up about the work and being you know, honest about documenting things rather than about, we have an interruption here, so whoa, sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I worked in the film industry for 10 years, mostly on feature films, mostly on big budget, bloated, excessive feature films, of which there were only a few that were worth anything. And it was good to see people. I saw Scorsese work a little bit, although not on one of his better pictures. I worked with John Sayles, which was good, and I worked with Alex Cox, which was good. But basically, the film industry, what I mostly saw was a massive apparatus, a big machine that spent enormous amounts of money on projects that were really not very interesting to start with. So after I worked in the art department as a technician, prop man, for a number of years, and it got more and more boring and disturbing, and I felt increasingly that I needed to just cut loose, do my own thing, and because I work on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, the kind of movie making that I do really has almost nothing to do with what people think of when they think of like the movies. And I don't, you know, there are a lot of great directors. There will always be great films. I would love to do a feature film, and I hope to do a feature film someday. But there are signs, there are signs, there are signs, there are signs, there are signs. I don't like music videos. I can't talk about music video anymore. I hate music videos. I'm sick of talking about it. I've talked about it for fucking, let's see, I started bitching about it in 1989. It's 1999, 10 years later, I'm still bitching about it. The best thing to say about music videos is turn off the fucking MTV, unplug it, switch it, don't pay for it, watch nature documentaries, watch the fucking news, watch something else, because it's boring. It's just a boring, it's a rut that people got into, and every once in a while there's something interesting on it, but you have to plow through so much garbage to get to the interesting moment, and then even if there is an interesting moment, it's probably for some half-assed, sorry-ass band, and they're lip-syncing anyway, so just skip the music video thing altogether and do something else. That's my advice.